Welcome back to another episode of the Market Take. Guys, it is January 12th of 2026. It is the first Market Take of the new year. We did do a in-house Market Take last week that was not recorded, that was not posted. It was just to kind of tell you guys what's going on for the rest of the year to come, and this is just one of it. What's up, Justin?
What's going on? How are you? How's everybody doing?
Man, you look good with that background.
Wow. There was a lot that happened over these past 2 weeks that we need to unpack and get into. Yeah, it's going to be a long one. I mean, there's there's a lot that happened.
Well, let's start with the one that I'm sure everyone heard, Venezuela. So kind of want to talk about why it happened. What does it really mean? Like, what's the effect that could happen? Basically, kind of what was going on was that the U.S. had warned Venezuela many times, specifically Maduro, because of drug trafficking, bringing in drugs in the U.S., this and that. And they basically went into Venezuela and they captured him. Now, if you're asking my honest opinion, I don't think this was truly drug related. Because if you look at the stats of the countries where the most drugs come in from, it's not Venezuela. It's actually Canada, China, and Mexico. Drugs come in there more than it comes to Venezuela. If you're asking me, I feel like Trump was like, all right, look, your people hate you. We're going to arrest you. We're going to say it's drugs, but in reality, we just want your oil. Like, that's how I see it happening. What about you, Justin? What's your take on it? What's your market take on it?
I mean, listen, to me, it's definitely oil-centric for sure because, you got to keep it. Let's look back a couple of weeks, right? What did they first start doing besides striking the boats? They were seizing the oil tankers, right? They were seizing Russian oil tankers. They were seizing Venezuelan oil tankers. Trump really highlighted that he wanted to bring in, huge U.S. oil companies into Venezuela and start drilling and doing this and doing that. And at the same time, listen, at the end of the day, Nicolas Maduro's a dictator, right? He really oppressed its people for like a very long time. He's the embodiment of Hugo Chavez. If you don't know who Hugo Chavez is, he is the previous dictator to Nicolas Maduro. They're sitting on a ton of oil, and they're not doing anything about it to make their society better, making their economy better. Guys, Venezuela's inflation is if not the worst inflation you could see in the world. Even worse than Argentina's at one point. You know how crazy Argentina's inflation was at one point?
Oh, yeah, it was like the worst in history.
But dude, let's talk about how they did this raid though first.
You know what? I was about to jump into it, but I know weapons and like weapon tech is your thing, so you know what? You could just take that. But I heard some crazy stuff like, yeah, go ahead. Like,
man,
like energy weapons, like in the future, dude.
Guys, the power of the U.S. military was on full display earlier. On January 3rd, and let me tell you. It sent a message to the whole world. If you guys are not familiar how they conducted this raid in Venezuela, what they did was, first of all, Nicolas Maduro stays in the capital of Venezuela, which is Caracas, right? Caracas. What they did was they cut the entire power. They cut all the power out in Caracas. Now, before we dive into that, there's something you guys need to know. CIA was there before any of this. Maduro had CIA agents in his close circle, like literally like his close presidential circle or whatever.
Right.
And they're all CIA agents, and that's how that's how a lot of military, like big special operations military planning happens, is with the CIA first, right? They get the intel, they know who's who, where's where, where's what, this, that, right? So the CIA first. And then how they conducted this was they cut the power of literally all of Caracas, and then a swarm of fighter jets and drones and missiles came in and took out weapons defense areas, took out military barracks, some other crucial infrastructure that they need for whether it be like radar technology or whatever. Knocked that all out, and then right behind after the fighter jets came in attack helicopters and Chinook helicopters. Guys, if you don't know, the people that conducted this raid was Army Special Forces. They said it was Delta Force, and then also like the Night Stalker regiment, which is like essentially like special forces pilots in the military that are like the best pilots in the world. So then they came in and man, they absolutely just decimated everything that was in their path, all the resistance, all the fighters, everything like that. And then the Chinooks came with literally like with like a squadron of Delta Forces soldiers onto Maduro's compound, went in and caught him while he was running to his bunker. Mm-hmm. Right now, go ahead. Were you about to say something?
Say, Hard Hat Degen in the chat says, "Was that real though? Seems fake, like the moon landing." Yeah, there was a ton of AI photos after that, and especially a ton of funny ones. Like they put Maduro on the Joe Rogan podcast real quick. But no, dude, I do think this was real. And I know AI is getting better, but did you guys see the footage of the Apache helicopters just lighting it up?
I don't think it was AI either. I mean, like this was like super in the realm of possibility with the military. Like this was kind of like, I hate to say it, but it was kind of light work. Like it was just light work. Like this is like, this is like an everyday thing for special forces. Like they have, you guys gotta understand, like when special forces transfer these things, they have like 1-to-1 ratio mock-ups of what they're going to raid. Mm-hmm. And they train on that literally for months prior. Like this was planned way long in advance. And they train to the point to where it's just like, it's literally involuntary and second nature. Yeah. Like, but I want to say this one thing though. There was a Venezuelan soldier that was injured and then had some things to say about the whole ordeal.
Saw that.
He said, first of all, he said they came in with about like 20, 30 soldiers and Venezuela had like a few hundred around. Mm-hmm. And they said they were just completely outgunned. Like he said it seemed like each soldier was like firing thousands of rounds each and just mowing down
with energy weapons and like sonic boom stuff.
Well, I'll get to that. So he said, quote unquote, he said that they used this weapon that he's never seen before, where it emitted a sonic boom at first, right? Mm-hmm. Which, as soon as I read that, I'm like, dude, this guy probably got like flashbanged or something. Like, didn't realize it. But then he said everyone around him started bleeding from the ears, bleeding from the nose, just completely discombobulated, and they felt like all their heads were going to explode. Like, and then, dude, oh man, you know what? This is a whole nother rabbit hole to dive down, and this is totally a DARPA thing. Like, if you guys don't know, do you guys know what DARPA is?
Dude, you beat me to it. I was literally going to say, I feel like DARPA was just feeling kind of rusty and needed to stretch out a little bit.
Dude, DARPA creates some insane stuff. Guys, DARPA is a government organization basically where like they work on, they create like the newest technology 30, 40 years out that people have no idea about. It's actually so secretive that everybody that works at DARPA doesn't know what the person next to them is working on. And they work on like these crazy, dude. I mean, there was a video that came out too of like of this laser that they just came out with for battleships. Dude, the pictures are, it literally looks like the Death Star shooting out a beam, and like they could destroy warships, destroy like any aircraft. It's so nuts,
man. Well, we're going to keep kind of getting into the global conflicts, but, what we've been seeing the last couple of years is, let's say like BRICS, for example, slowly starting to make strategic moves. And, the U.S. is kind of becoming like on its own little island. And I think this is like one of Trump's moves to basically bring a little bit more power back into the court of the U.S. in terms of like resources. Obviously, the U.S. has the power of the military and military advancements, but Venezuela has an insane amount of oil.
Well, dude,
the biggest oil deposits in the world. And before the sanctions with Russia, the U.S. was buying, I don't want to say most, but probably at least half of its oil from Russia before the sanctions. And now, if they're getting the oil from Venezuela, huge up to them.
Well, let's not forget about the petrodollar, right? That's why the dollar was the world's reserve currency at one point, is because of the petrodollar. And, you know, the petrodollar for a while, lately has kind of been on its last leg. And now it's starting to make sense on, you know, why you see this move on Venezuela, because like you're saying, BRICS, right? BRICS, they have now their own reserve currency, whatever currency they're going to use, and kind of just staying away from the dollar. Because, you know, a lot of the times our dollar was backed by oil when we went off the gold standard.
Right.
And then if that gets put in jeopardy, drastic measures are going to happen.
Yep. So we got Venezuela, and guys, you're gonna notice a trend in these conflicts, and a lot of it have to do with the civilians not agreeing with the government, and just kind of sounds like the U.S. right now to me. But so Iran, I'm sure you guys have been seeing the conflicts in Iran. So. Similar to what just happened in Bulgaria last month. So now we're seeing widespread anti-government protests that started in December but have continued on to this year. And now we're like in their third or fourth week, and basically all the protesting is really just about the economic crisis, about inflation, just like Justin was saying. Their currency is totally collapsing. They're having water shortages. You know, protesters want the regime to change, just like they wanted in Venezuela, just like they wanted in Bulgaria. So tons of stuff going on right now. But what's really sad about the conflict in Iran is in 3-4 weeks time, over 600 deaths, thousands of casualties, over 600 deaths. And then the regime that the public is not very fond of in Iran, it just came out with a couple statements today and yesterday saying that if the U.S. doesn't intervene, so that Iran is going to strike back to Israel, Iran's going to strike back to the U.S. So, dude, it's just all over right now. So many global conflicts at once. It's starting to get kind of scary. We thought last year, all right, we hit the crock pot of as many global events as you can imagine, and nope, it just keeps happening.
You know, I think Iran blows a lot of smoke.
Yeah.
I mean, we tend to forget, right, when the whole, and listen, I'm just calling it how it is. We tend to forget what happened when we bombed their nuclear facilities, right? Like their airspace got completely taken over immediately.
Yeah.
And with ease. From a nation that supposedly has a huge defense budget, all this different military equipment, ballistic missiles, air defense systems, even, you know, possibly nukes. For your airspace to get taken over in literally minutes says something. You know, outdated tech. They know it's outdated tech. And I honestly think, and listen, honestly, there's nothing more I want to see than the people of Iran take over and change that regime. Because at the end of the day, that regime is radical. They do fund terrorist organizations. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. And the people have been oppressed for way too long. And I want to see them to succeed.
Right.
And you know what? You know, I'm glad they're not letting back.
So again, just like taking everything with a little bit of grain of salt. Like, all right, so with the Venezuela, right? It's the people that don't like the leadership. Iran, the people did not like the leadership. Bulgaria, before I get ahead of it, the people did not like the leadership. And we are going to talk about the Bulgarian government basically stepping down from cabinet. But what's happening in the U.S. right now? The U.S. public is not happy with the leadership. So can the U.S. public revolt? What's scary, and Nick already kind of beat us to it, is what if the people of the U.S. revolt? I heard this on the Andy Frisella podcast. I thought about this the same day. I thought about this too. It's what happens when the people of the U.S. revolt and they shut down the internet. They shut down the phones. Because Iran shut down the internet in 2021 or 2022, but they didn't shut down the phone services. People could still make calls. Right now, people can't even make calls.
That's crazy, man.
It's like going back decades, and they feel like they're isolated. What happens if the government decides to do that to the U.S.? I'll tell you one thing. I don't know if I could say it on camera.
I would have bought, but
I'll start the whole place if they turn off.
That's crazy, bro. That is
all my money's gone.
Listen, that's
why the precious metal, again, before we get into the stock market, guys, please keep in mind every single thing we're saying right now, because so much of it is going to tie into every little update that we take. Like why the precious metals are flying right now is Jesus Christ. Sorry, our chat's going crazy. It's because of precious metals, right? If the internet gets shut down, there goes your dollars, there goes your crypto, there goes everything, right? There goes your euros, unless whatever cash you might have. But that's why people are getting into gold and silver like crazy too.
So how do you make the internet sovereign?
I don't know, because even Elon Starlink got jammed up.
Yeah, I mean it's getting jammed because of but yeah, I mean, look, this brings me kind of to like my next point too, and like what you were saying, right? Like obviously they knock out the internet, they knock out the internet, they knock out cell phone services because like they don't want the wrong propaganda hitting the West basically, right? Dude, this is classic, just like government overreach to the max, and this is kind of what the Constitution of the United States protects you from, is this type of thing. You know, this is why the people have the right to bear arms. This is why, you know, you have a freedom of speech, freedom of press, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, is to protect you from tyrannical governments. But yeah, how do you make the internet sovereign? I think that's like the $1 million question. Like, how do you make it not, you know, I mean, obviously, like huge tech companies and huge tech companies and conglomerates run the cell phone service and internet service. But like, again, that could get knocked out with military equipment anytime, any day of the week.
But then, like, even if you do kind of make it sovereign, right? Like crypto is sovereign, right? It's like my computer, your computer, Noah's computer, the guy helping us with the pod right now. It's my computer, you know, helping with the crypto transaction. It's his computer helping with the crypto transaction. It's your computer helping with the crypto transaction, confirming it, right? It's the public's consensus that this is working. If you guys ever watched the show on HBO, Silicon Valley, they were trying to make like a decentralized internet the same way. It's like all the power of everyone's cell phone kind of powers this World Wide Web that is basically not owned by anyone. But it goes back to, all right, if all of our electronics are shut off, are we going to be able to power the internet anyway? No.
I think we have a bigger worry of a bigger worry of a foreign adversary EMPing us than the government shutting our internet or cell phones off, because that's just, to me, would be political suicide. We're a democracy at the end of the day. Like, these people have to rely on votes to get elected, to get put into power. And if you do something crazy like that, like you could count your days, in my opinion.
One thing about the U.S. is we got our guns, so that helps a little bit. But then again, hey man, these guys got EMP weapons from Halo 5 Infinite Sonic Booms. So
yeah, dude. I mean, imagine like they use this for crowd control though. That's what I'm worried about more than anything. They bust this thing out, dude. Because like, I mean, if I'm thinking about it, there's early versions that have been around that have been around for like literally 20 years, dude. And people have seen them, like those crowd disbursement wave things that like do like a crazy sound that like it's just so unbearable you got to move. That's my worst nightmare, man. I could feel my eardrums bursting right now talking about it.
Yeah, well, like we were talking about the Bulgarian government. So This happened in December and it confirmed in January. So we are about 2 weeks into this. But like I said, we didn't do a market take last week and we were off for the holidays. So if you guys did not see what happened in Bulgaria, the government basically resigned after several weeks of anti-corruption protests. Are you guys catching, like I keep saying, like catching what's going on in all these countries? It's anti-corruption protests across the countries because of economic policies, because of corruption, and the new policies that they put in are failing to tackle corruption. Again, Venezuela, same stuff. Iran, very, very similar stuff. And now Bulgaria, similar stuff. It kind of reminds me of like the Boston Tea Party when people were getting taxed 3% and they just were like, no, we're not doing it.
Don't you just feel like we're at a tipping point right now?
I do feel like we're at a tipping point. And what's crazy is,
what about you? You feel like we're at a tipping point?
I think so.
even Noah says we're at a tipping point, man. It's just, bro, we are like, we say America is free, and I know I'm kind of getting off topic, but how are we free? We're paying 50% of our money, at least in taxes. And if any bozo says, I'm only paying 27 or 25, no, you're not, dude, because you get taxed 25 to 27% of your paycheck, and then you go buy groceries, you pay another 8%, 9% taxes on already taxed money, and then God forbid, you make $1 in the stock market. Well, guess what? You're gonna get taxed on those gains on already taxed money. And God forbid, if I want to give my best friend or give Noah $20,000 on my already taxed money, now they have to pay taxes on the money that I give them. Where's the freedom here?
I literally get taxed to take a shit. I do. If you think about it, what do you need when you take a poop?
Toilet paper?
Is there a tax on toilet paper?
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's crazy.
He's not wrong. So guys, what does it look like when there is no government anymore? Well, you would think that everyone would run around lawless. No, so that's not actually what happens. When a cabinet resigns, the state actually still runs. So the state keeps operating. Police still get paid. Schools stay open. Pensions still get processed. All civil services continue. What the big difference is in the decision-making power. So whenever a government resigns, basically like the state acts in like a limited capacity just to make sure, like I said, like the state-run stuff still gets processed, right? Like the food stamps, the EBTs, SNAP, all that stuff, right? So basically what happens next is that they have to basically put in another party to basically run the show. And that could be good or bad because they are kind of in urgency to replace the cabinet. Usually when you do stuff very quickly, especially of a decision of this magnitude, doing it very quickly is probably not the way to go, but they don't really have a choice. So, I don't even know what to say. Like, is this going to happen here? And then on top of that, now you got the Greenland conflict too.
Oh, man.
My God. When does it stop, Justin?
Dude, oh, man. I honestly, like, this is so crazy to me about how magnified it's become from him. But this was his like desire since 2019. And there's actually presidents in the past that have, always thought about Greenland. Greenland is uniquely positioned in the world.
It is.
But if you guys don't know what's going on, which I'm sure you do, Trump is very adamant on quote unquote buying Greenland or acquiring Greenland, annexing it, if you will. And this has just caused a slew of outrage and panic for multiple reasons, and we'll dive into that, okay? But yeah, I mean, Trump thinks Greenland is a vital security threat if they don't acquire it. If they don't have control of it, it's for national security, is what he claims. If you guys don't know, Greenland used to have a bunch of ice around it, and those ice caps or whatever are melting and opening up new waterways. Mm-hmm. And who's across the pond? Russia, China. So he's worried that Russia and China are going to move in on Greenland and kind of, plant their seed over there.
I'm not buying any of that, and I actually agree with Simon over here. Trump is delusional on that one.
Yeah, I honestly I don't agree with it either one bit. I am not for
Greenland,
this at all.
It makes zero sense because one, Greenland runs off of Danish law, even though it's self-governed. They run off Danish law. Mm-hmm. Greenland, Denmark, a part of NATO. How are you gonna take over NATO land? Isn't that what the whole Russia-Ukraine was about? Ukraine wanting to get into NATO.
Yeah.
Everyone in NATO was saying, no, Ukraine might be in NATO. You can't attack this. So what? Trump is just going to go in there and take away Greenland? Like, I voted for Trump, but buddy, who the F do you think you are?
Dude, I agree, man. Trust me. And listen, NATO is definitely not happy about this. And I'll tell you why. But yeah, like you're saying, Denmark, whatever, how many hundreds of years ago came to Greenland and, basically, I don't want to say the word colonized, but kind of claimed it, you know what I'm saying? And then they became independent, and then Greenland became independent down the line, but there still is like a close-knit relationship between the two, right? Or some kind of tie between the two.
Greenland runs off Denmark laws, so like everything legal-wise, it all goes through Denmark.
Yeah. The thing is like when Trump gets asked about like what are you gonna do with Denmark with Greenland, he's like, dude, how he answers is so crazy. I mean, I think someone asked him like how he plans on purchasing Greenland or whatever, and he goes like, then he answers, well, we're gonna do it whether they like it or not. They can either do it the easy way or the hard way.
Yeah.
And then he got asked if he was gonna use military intervention. And he goes, we'll just have to see. It's not off the table. And, so what has NATO in Europe been doing to kind of prepare for this? They're actually deploying military assets right now to Greenland. Mm-hmm. And they're and their mission is to solely defend Greenland from any foreign adversary, not just from the U.S., but also from like Russian or Chinese influence. Mm-hmm. That's another thing they're doing too. But yeah, man, I hope it doesn't because if the military were to intervene in like in a hostile way, like that's the end of NATO. Who's the head of NATO again? Even he said it will be the end of Mark Rutte, NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte. Mm-hmm. He said it will effectively end NATO if America tries to annex Greenland.
Yeah. Russia and China are just sitting in the back. Oh man, I hope this shit goes down.
Oh, they want to see the self cannibalization of the biggest alliance in the world.
That NATO alliance, man. So yeah, guys, we're not about that. I'm a big fan of Denmark, as you guys know. So I'm not about that.
Dude, Denmark's such a sick country.
Dude, I can't wait to take you back in summertime.
Pause.
Yo. All right, guys, let's go over one more world event before we get into the stock market news. And this news is going to tie into a little bit with the stock market. You guys remember the meme that was kind of going around probably I want to say 2-3 months ago now? It was Trump and Jerome Powell just kind of sitting side by side, and then Trump was calling out Jerome Powell on spending too much on some renovations, and then Jerome Powell's like, "No, I don't remember spending that much," and then Trump's like, "No, you did. It's right here." And he's like, right. and then he just grabs the glass. He goes, yeah.
He's like, where? Where?
What?
Right there.
So,
I don't remember that.
As of a day or two ago, the Department of Justice opened a criminal probe into Fed Chair Powell Jerome Powell regarding his past congressional testimony on a building renovation. So, Powell stated, "This is an attempt by Trump administration to pressure the central bank into lowering interest rates, which has created significant political and market uncertainty." So as you guys know, Trump has been telling Jerome Powell a few times to lower the interest rates. Well, the Federal Reserve job is to adjust the interest rates based on the public, not what of the president wants to do. But Trump being the person that he is, he goes, I don't like this. So, so Jerome Powell is being, he was already served. He's potentially being charged. And then when they asked Trump about this, Trump said, now this is Trump words, Trump said, "I don't know anything about it, but he's certainly not very good at the Fed, and he's not very good at building buildings." It's a very Trump thing to say. So we'll see what happens. As you guys know, when interest rates go up, the stock and crypto market tends to go down. When interest rates lower, the stock and crypto market tend to go up. So that's why the stock market has been rallying, because of projections of rate cuts for the interest. So we'll see what happens to that. We all know Trump has been trying to get Jerome Powell out of office for quite some time. Those two literally hate each other. It would be awesome to see them in a boxing match. That would be hilarious. So transitioning that into the stock news, what's very important for the stock market is obviously the interest rates. What else is very important for the stock market is CPI, the Consumer Price Index. So tomorrow, January 13th,
Market.
For anybody watching the recording, this is for January 13th. January 13th, the Consumer Price Index numbers will go out. Basically just shows the price of eggs, oil, pretty much everything, to see if inflation is rising or inflation is lowering. If inflation comes down, interest rates usually come down with it. If inflation goes up, interest rates tend to go up with it. Not so good for the stock market. So, Trump. So that's what's going on. So let's get into the stock stuff. So one thing that I put down is basically like the safe haven rush that we are seeing in the stock market. So if you guys do not know, gold and silver today, at the time of recording this podcast on January 12th, hit new all-time highs.
That's so crazy.
Gold hit 4,600. Silver hit 80 plus. And this is now probably the 6th or 7th episode in a row where I keep telling you guys, we called out silver at 50. We called out silver at 50. We called out silver at 50.
Back when we were in Austria. When we were in Austria. I
was going to say it 7 times, but because I've said it 7 times.
Guys, that's October.
I think it was like October.
Mid-October.
13th.
Something
that
like
I said
that.
This. Silver was like a cool 50, 51. I said this thing is going to 100. It's going to 100. Now we're 80 plus on it. And like I'm saying, people are going into precious metals because of the whole internet fiasco. People are scared, right? They're getting into the precious metal stuff that is tangible because people are just not trusting the government anymore.
Dude, that price of that Rolex must be crazy now.
It's going up. And
I'm honestly about to.
I'm going to have to fly back to Texas and take the Rolex we gave Dan last year because that's gone up like 20% too.
Dan, you hear that? We're coming for you.
Question. Speaking of Rolexes, guys, the Stock Unlock trading tournament ends in 4 days. Who's winning the Rollie? By the way, I picked out a sick Rolex. Just when I thought I couldn't do any better than last year, we did better than last year. Thing is sick. Costs $11,000, not even 10. So I have to come up with more money out of pocket for me.
Dude, I got a question for you, man. I can't help. I don't know when it's gonna end, but I can't help to feel it in my gut. Like obviously, this is like a parabola. Are
you trying to say Pokemon right now? What are you saying?
No, parabola. Frick, dude, I can't even say it right now.
Probability?
No, a parabola.
No, do you know what this guy's saying?
Parabola.
What the hell's a parabola?
When something just goes straight up like that, dude, it has
Parabolic?
yeah, I mean, parabolic is like the synonym to it, but like, or but
Parabol?
a parabola. Yeah. See,
Trenable?
Simonian, no.
Have you guys ever done trenbolin?
But dude, I don't know, man. I feel like if you're getting into silver or gold right now, correct me if I'm wrong, because obviously I don't know shit dick about it. Sorry.
We're doing so good.
But I feel like you're literally top blasting the absolute nuts off of that.
Do you see the chat right now?
Trend.
Oh, anyway. Oh, but hey, you know what Trump did do cool? So Trump made an announcement. It hasn't been confirmed just yet, but Trump said for 1 year there's going to be a 10% cap on credit card interest rates.
I saw that.
So that's probably why you guys saw Capital One stock dump, Bank of America stock dump, JP Morgan stock dump. What else Trump did good last week or the week before last week is he announced that institutions like BlackRock and Blackstone will not be able to buy single-family homes. And then you saw those stocks drop from 5 to 10% as well. So that's cool.
Well, he announced he wants to do that, but like they're gonna put up a fight. Like,
Right. I mean, same thing with with these banks, right? With the 10%.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what, dude? It's like the lives of the American people have always bailed out the banks. Here's a cool idea. How about we just wipe away U.S. citizen credit card debt? Start fresh. Screw the banks. They
That'd
got
be
money.
cool.
We bailed them out all the time. Let's start everyone with a free slate.
Bail the people out.
Start everyone with a free slate. Everyone goes back to zero debt. Everyone has a 680 credit score. And then Tito can wheel and deal hella cars. Yo, we're on sync because he just said they better not cap no rates at the dealership. Tito's hitting 50% interest rates on 489 credit scores on a fucking
Hellcat.
on a Hellcat on a fucking Nissan Sentra. Yo, this podcast has me dying today. More stock news, guys. Bravo, we got to give a shout out. We got to. Yo, the Hellcat, the freaking Hellcat comment was crazy, but so true. Oh, yo, so guys, all right. All right. Yo, Eddie knows because he also wheels and deals whips. So Google is the second company. Are you done?
Yeah, sorry, dude.
All right. Google becomes the second company to hit a $4 trillion market cap, guys.
My bad for finding joy in the podcast. My bad, Arthur.
What? Nvidia was first. Now we got Google hitting the $4 trillion market cap. Actually, I think Apple at one point hit 4 trillion too, right? Yes. Sorry, guys. Apple also hit 4 trillion. Google is the third one to hit 4 trillion. Congratulations on everybody in Stock Unlocked right now. Blake already beat me to it. That is holding Google calls. We just hit new all-time highs on Google today. Bravo. 50% gain on those option calls. Good stuff. To keep cranking on the AI, guys, NVIDIA and Eli Lilly. If you guys don't know what Eli Lilly is, they are a major health company, very similar to Nordo Novick, basically the guys behind Ozempic. But NVIDIA and Eli Lilly announced a joint $1 billion investment to create an AI drug discovery lab.
Ooh.
That is cool. I've been telling you guys this. I'm not the only one to say it, but I truly believe in the next 5 to 10 years, we should be able to add another 10 to 20 years onto our lifespan, and like a good 10 to 20 years in our lifespan. Not meaning like you feel like you're 100 years old for 30 years and it's like terrible. No, I feel like we're going to have I feel like 50 will be the new 30 soon enough. With everything that's going on, and we know AI is able to crack a lot of scientific discoveries that scientists haven't been able to. This happened over a year and a half ago, and some of you guys may have heard this story, but they were connecting AI chips to the brain cells of mice to see if it could basically recreate a brain. So basically, here's what it is, right? You're in your house, right? Everyone probably knows how to make tea here, right? You know where you keep your tea, you know where your teapot is, and you know how to boil the water. You know where your mugs are at, right? You do the same steps and you make your tea. Now you rent an Airbnb. You still know how to make tea, but I'm sure the pot is somewhere else. I'm sure the tea bags are somewhere else. I'm sure the cups are somewhere else. But you could still make tea. Well, when you're talking computer language and AI language, it needs to know the path to do the path. So you can tell the creator to make the cup of tea in your home, and it will go to this cabinet to grab the tea, this cabinet to grab the cups, this cabinet to grab the hot water boiler, la, 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 and make the tea. Well, if you put the computer or the AI in a different scenario or in a different home, it won't be able to know how to do that because it doesn't know the right paths. If you move the tea from one cabinet to another, it screws up. So with them adding these chips to the cells of mice, they were able to see that now the brain cells were able to adapt into a different environment and recreate the act. So it's like the computer will be able to know how to make tea no matter the scenario it is, no matter the house it is. So crazy stuff happening in the medical field with AI, with biotech. That sector probably excites me the most out of any other industry right now is the tech and bio sector, basically biotech combo.
Dude, this might ignite decentralized science up again.
I did not see. YF Daddy says, did you guys check out CES in Vegas? Did not have the time to check it out this year. Sadly missed it.
Dude, I used to go to CES literally every year, man, and it was my favorite conference. But man,
it got a bit slow, but I imagine now it's with all the new advancements in tech. I bet the conference is getting crazy. It was wild. He says that's cool. Speaking of Apple, though, Apple shares are on their largest losing streak since 1991.
They are?
Yeah.
Well,
despite they lead the smartphone, they lead the smartphone market share in 2025 right now. They passed Droid. They are the dominate.
Yeah, we I think we put that in a newsletter literally 2 weeks ago or a week ago. Yeah, they are the number one cell phone provider.
Right. But dude, I got my last phone was the iPhone 14. I got the iPhone 17. Nothing different. Except the camera's cool.
I love the orange, but yeah, other than that, dude, the thing's gonna
I think they messed up the color palette, but that's a different
I know how you are your colors. But you know that phone's gonna brick in a year.
Yeah, guys, don't even bother updating any of your older phones. The thing just gets toast after this new update.
Yeah, my phone barely runs. I gotta go get a new phone, to be honest.
And then, what stock sector have we been talking about so much the last couple of weeks?
Retail?
Retail.
Did I say that?
You sure?
My bad.
Ruckus, yes, but for stocks, not for crypto. Blake, correct. Hotel. Yep, hotel. Mining, no. Airlines, yep. So what the answers I was looking for was retail, hotel, and airlines, basically travel. So Walmart, guys, has just joined the NASDAQ 100 index. Walmart is on a running riot. And you know what? It's basically sell Pokemon and your stock will hit all-time highs.
I mean, they can't even get a shipment of Pokemon in yet.
I'm kidding. So yeah, guys, Walmart hit new all-time highs today. They pumped 3% based on this news. Expect more continuation from Walmart to come. If you ask my opinion, I know we're just a couple bucks away from the 120 target, but 120 target was a target I had on Walmart for a long time. And then the crazy next breakout level on Walmart is $146, guys. We could hit 140 plus on Walmart. Trading at 118 right now. Just keep it in mind, it has strong momentum. What happens with stocks that have let's say that are leaders in like a certain sector? Well, we call those sympathy plays. So when you see Tesla going crazy, there's a good chance that Neo, Lucid, what's the one with the W that I can't think of right now? Basically, when Tesla goes crazy, good chance that a lot of the EV stocks go crazy. When Nvidia goes crazy, a very good chance that AMD, Intel, and the other chip companies go crazy. QCOM. When we see Walmart, one of the leaders in the retail category, starting its breakout, keep in mind of the sectors and the stocks that we were talking about, right? Ross Stores just hit new all-time highs last week. So Target is one of my favorites still. It is in the verge of a breakout here, guys. Target over 108 sends Target to $120. So that's a $12 move. Above that's 124 and then to 139 range. Target has been pretty impressive. Although they haven't seen really growth in the last 3 to 4 years, they've stayed consistent on billion-dollar revenue. They've just been stuck at that billion-dollar revenue, trying to figure out ways that they could basically break past it. So we are in a breakout formation on Target. And like I said, when you see sector leaders run, start to think of the sympathy plays that happen in that sector, right? We're about to go into crypto next. You guys already know what sector is crazy right now in crypto. That's the privacy coins, okay? So, excuse me. Keep Target in mind as we go into the next few days. Wind Moon. Oh, did the wind pump aftermarket or something? But yeah, guys. So retail, hotels, and airlines still are staying pretty strong. American Airlines hit new all-time highs on Friday on market day. Delta Airlines just hit new all-time highs today, guys. Today. United Airlines hit all-time highs today. Southwest Airlines is catching up. But guys, we've been talking about airlines for 3-4 weeks now. We've been talking about hotels 3-4 weeks now. We've been talking about retail 3-4 weeks now. We've been talking about precious metals since October. So I hope you guys are really taking these market takes to advantage, because there is a lot of sauce that goes into this shit. So it's no coincidence that 3 out of the 4 airlines that we've talked about for the past month have hit new all-time highs literally today and last week. So literally, nuggets dropped each week. You got anything to add on stocks before we rip into crypto?
Yeah, also, I mean, we kind of touched on it a little bit, but I mean, guys, pay attention to home builders, right? Would they lower rates they lowered housing rates at a certain point too? That was pretty bullish for home builders. If you guys look at home builder stocks, like, and this was actually in the weekly trade, guys, in the newsletter, like DR Horton,
Horton,
Pulte, whatever home builders, their stocks are starting to rally because of positive rates reports and stuff like that. So that's kind of a good sign too. But yeah, keep an eye out for that. Nothing crazy. Probably Home Depot too. These home builders are going to need supply.
Home Depot's always been a really strong stock.
Mm-hmm.
Always a strong stock.
But yeah, let's dive into crypto, man.
What's Lowe's at these days? Oh yeah, Lowe's is moving too. Nice. Yeah, guys, let's get into it. Crypto. Well,
I can't believe Monero.
I think we're starting to see Bitcoin and ETH kind of stabilize now, finally at these levels. But who is stealing the show? Ruckus already answered. Privacy coins. My God. So Monero, as of today, another trade that we were in over the weekend. Bravo to everybody that was in Monero. Monero hits new all-time highs today. The thing just hit $650. Just hit $650. So privacy coins is now the narrative that is on fire. So you guys have heard this, the people that have been in here for a while. Narratives. 2021 was the metaverse narrative. 22 was the gaming coin narrative. 2023, I forget what narrative that was, but 2024 was like real world assets. 2025.
No, 2024 AI, 2025 RWA, real world assets, for sure. Yeah.
2024.
2024 was AI.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Last year was RW because when I was trading Render a lot, that was 2024.
Mm-hmm.
Render, AI crypto 2024, real world assets last year. Now it's privacy coins, right? So there is some juice in the privacy coin market. So let me tell you first, one of the reasons why the narrative is catching on fire is because increased adoption brings in increased regulation. As you guys know, increased regulations mean know your customer laws, KYC,
Manipulation.
AML laws, anti-money laundering laws, knowing the customer, knowing the person, right, to avoid fraud, scam, this, that. But a huge thing for crypto was always privacy. But the other thing with blockchain is there is no hiding a transaction. Everything is there on the ledgers. But with coins like Monero and Zcash and let's say Beldex, Dash, Decred.
Dude, these are all literally Dino coins that have been around for so long. Now that I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
And now they're getting Decred, Dash, and now that they're getting brought back to the limelight, it's kind of crazy to see.
Something else too, guys. So it's for the folks that are trading on like BitUnex or some of these other platforms, what else is making privacy coins skyrocket? I'll tell you this. So multiple centralized exchanges and decentralized exchanges, multiple centralized exchanges have delistings on Monero, on Zcash, on these other privacy coins, right? For example, Zcash and Monero, they are tradable on MEXC. They are tradable on BTCC. They are not tradable on BitUnex. BitUnex, those coins failed regulation. A lot of the privacy coins basically, quote unquote, fail regulations. And that's why a lot of these moves can actually be exaggerated because the liquidity is uneven. So people have to buy the coins in other places, creating a supply and demand kind of like fiasco to help drive up the prices even more, guys. So it's funny that like MEXC is not strict at all on listing coins, and any coin can get listed, but they're starting to get very strict on KYC and knowing your customer and the VPN stuff. Yeah. BitUnex is very strict on listing of coins based on regulation, but very lackadaisical on KYC and VPN and all that stuff. So it's very funny to see that. But yes, what am I trying to say? Privacy coins are stealing the narrative right now by far. So who knows what's next? But basically what we've seen with crypto is everything is very, very cyclical, right? Which means happening in cycles. So privacy coins are rocketing. The coins that I just named off, Monero is the top one market cap. Zcash is number 2. Beldex, BDX, is number 3. Dash, DASH, is number 4. And Decred DCR is number 5 in market cap. I just posted it in the chat as well for you guys to see. Those are the top 5 market cap privacy coins.
I just couldn't hold Monero for 10 years, huh?
Dude, that was the first crypto you bought.
I know.
Dude, oh my God. Can you imagine how much you would have had, dude?
I'm sick. Sick to my stomach.
You suck. Just
I
kidding.
do. Yeah. No, I do. It's true. It's true.
All right, guys. What else do we got in the wonderful world of crypto?
Well, to add on to what you're saying about privacy coins, Dubai seems to be the first country to to ban privacy tokens from exchanges.
Which is weird.
However, you could still hold them. Like you could hold in a decentralized wallet, but exchanges that operate in Dubai, like a centralized exchange, you cannot. You can't trade it at all. And aren't a lot of these exchanges licensed in Dubai?
Yes, a ton.
So that's probably why.
That's what, it's like some places have such flip-flopped regulations. It's like, like Dubai, you could basically do anything, but privacy coins, no.
Yeah.
Bitchinex is like, oh yeah, we don't care where you are. You can trade it everywhere. Oh, but privacy coin, no. Mexico's like, we need your KYC, but
well,
it just has to do with the legislation for the countries they're based in.
And they want the ability to follow the money. If they can't, they want nothing to do with it.
Right.
So I'm sure you'll see more of that, but I think that's what makes it bullish, in my opinion, like increasingly bullish.
Yeah.
Personally,
I can see that.
All right, guys. Some other crypto news that that we want to dive into as well. Man, let's start with Venezuela. Back to Venezuela, USDT.
Yeah. So what happened there?
Well, if you guys don't know, obviously there was sanctions with the U.S., right, in Venezuela with the oil and everything, who they could sell to, who they couldn't sell to, this and that, yada, yada, yada. How Venezuela would bypass that is with USDT, with Tether, right? Now, this brings in speculation of, the people behind USDT and their obviously USDT has like major ties within crypto, within the government and everything. But this brings in such a conflict of interest and such a weird light on USDT as an organization. And it's not just Venezuela too. Iran too, like their government moved $1 billion, about $1 billion in USDT through UK exchanges to fund whatever. But USDT was a crucial part of how Venezuela did business and how they made money as a country.
Yeah.
Because of those sanctions. And a lot of the citizens also used USDT a lot. People that are not. You guys got to keep in mind, the inflation in Venezuela was so crazy. Like their currency was literally nothing. And USDT was like a crucial component of how a lot of their population survived, how their government was making money with oil. They had a result to USDT. And a lot of people don't know that, but now you do. And this did hurt the petrodollar a lot, I would say.
Sorry, buddy. I just closed my dock by accident. Whoops.
You just closed your what?
I just closed my dock. There it is.
Oh.
Venezuela. What else? I guess this is kind of crypto and like world news related. Tennesse ordered Kalshi, Polymarket, Crypto.com to see sports betting. Dude, I'm kind of cool with that, bro. Like, all these too much are just trying to do too much, dude. Just chill out.
Yeah. Well, we knew this was gonna happen. We did. You know what's crazy?
We said this was gonna happen
in Singapore. I remember like on that pod, like, dude, these sports books, especially if watch Vegas is next, I guarantee it. These sports books are not, or these casinos, they're not having it. They're gonna do everything in their power. I'm surprised they haven't done it already.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, dude. Surprisingly enough, Vegas is so regulated for gambling. So
insanely regulated.
You can't get up DraftKings offices here. I can't even get on DraftKings. I can't get on Prize Picks here. I can't do any of that. So, no, dude, you can't just crush a city.
No, they will not have it. And let me tell you, federal, just because it's federally allowed doesn't mean the state's going to allow it.
Mm-hmm. That's like the Airbnbs here in Vegas. It's super hard to get an Airbnb here. Super hard.
Dude, this is like, this is a big mafioso town, even though it's not literally the mafia, but like it's controlled, right? Like there's interest here. There's hospitality, there's hotels, there's casinos, there's sports books that are the heartbeat of the city, and they're going to protect that. And it's that definitely will happen. But Tennesse says they have until January 31st to shut down all Tennesse activity and void any open contracts involving state residences and refund all deposits. Failure to comply could lead to civil penalties up to $25,000 per violation.
That's huge.
And potential criminal referrals for aggravated gambling promotion and felony under state law. I wouldn't play with Tennesse personally.
And last but not least on today's market update, I heard X is finally introducing some crypto features.
I mean, dude, there's embeds that you could put in already that do live price tracking, but this is just going to be completely native to X. But yeah, it's for crypto and stocks. If it's crypto, it'll also have the smart contract link to it, but it does live price tracking of the ticker that you post.
That's cool.
Like live price tracking, and then it'll also pull up all the posts of everybody talking about it. So it's like all in one place. For stocks, same thing. But yeah, that's. But there's some backlash on it too. I don't know if you know, but Nikita Beer, the head of product for X, also is like on the advisory board for Solana, and I don't know if you've been in the loop lately, but crypto Twitter has been like destroyed, basically.
What do you mean?
Like in terms of engagement wise with the algorithm, like if you tweet anything about crypto or whatever, it just doesn't get pushed out, doesn't get seen. The people that are all the crypto people on Twitter, what they see on their like For You page has nothing to do with crypto. Anytime they talk about crypto, it goes to nobody, and people are just bashing Nikita Beer about it. But lo and behold, he doesn't even work on the algorithm though. But people think he's going to cater the algorithm to like Solana-centric projects or like favor Solana type things because he controls the algorithm, but he doesn't. The algorithm is actually completely AI, built from XAI from the ground up. A lot of people don't know that.
Well, I mean, Twitter X has always been kind of a safe space for us crypto sleuths. Why do you think crypto is not being kind of pushed? I mean, like that's the only reason that I go on X is because I could talk about crypto like freely.
So there's actually an answer for this. You ready for it? So on average, when you post something, it gets pushed out to about 20 to 30 new people, right? A common way to grow on X or on crypto Twitter was being a reply guy, right? Replying to big accounts as much as you could to get eyes into your account. People follow you, yada yada. That was like a big way to grow. So keep in mind there was a limit of on average 20 to 30 people that you get pushed out to. So he said when somebody would reply GM to an account 20 times over, right? Like you used your
reach that day.
Yeah, your reach that day.
Right.
And like so when you go to post something, actually like on your feed, it doesn't get shown. And he said that's why you're not getting pushed.
Well, that's cool though. It does stop all those like spammers. There is a lot of spammers.
Yeah. And then I guess one more last thing too, guys. I just wanted to put. I mean, you guys, if you're still paying attention to meme coins, I mean, you obviously saw this white whale coin go to 180 mil. If you remember the white whale story with Mexi, him getting his account locked down and everything. Anyways, this is the hot meme coin.
Dude.
I like this because I've always said meme coins are dead right now. But that when I say that, I mean that like in the meantime, right? This could possibly this could possibly have a chance of reviving that whole sector.
The meme cycle?
The meme cycle, man.
All right.
The tokenomics on this token's crazy, by the way. I don't know if you looked into it. Like, it's absolutely nuts. In hindsight, when you look at it, like, it looks like...
What are the tokenomics?
What?
What are the tokenomics for it?
It's...
Like, is there like a burn feature to it or something?
No, so basically they have like a treasury that's like half controlled by them, half controlled by like quote-unquote a DAO or whatever. And it's just like kind of like an investment vehicle for the token.
Okay.
Earns like yield and stuff like that. They put in a bunch of different like financial vehicles. But yeah, I mean, dude, it's just so complex and so crazy, and it just but people really liked it and really catch on. I mean, it's dipping like crazy right now. You know, as expected, thing just went like straight up for literally.
When did it come out?
This token came out. Let me see. When did it come out? I want to say a couple weeks ago, dude. Through maybe actually back in October 25th. But it looks like, dude, it's really making a name for itself, and this dip is looking juicy. But I think this has the potential to reignite the meme cycle, and I think it could set a new narrative on how tokens do their tokenomics. Because you know how like before this, the buyback mechanism for tokens was like a bullish thing, and then or was like a narrative, and then like a burning mechanism or whatever kind of like trend that a meme coin's doing. This seems to be like this could be an emerging one. But yeah, I mean, this could bring life back into memes.
If it does, man, I'll take back everything I said about this guy.
Well, here's another thing too, man. And people don't. I can't. You know, I thought about this the other night, man. And it's like, you know, as big alts, right, and big tokens become more and more institutionalized, the harder the opportunity is going to be in those tokens. It's not, you know, it's not going to be like the same opportunity you had years and years ago. Like this, it's like mass manipulated. I feel like,
what did we preach all last year? It is no longer the year of WAGMI. We said that almost every other episode last year. We kept saying it's going to get harder and harder and harder. That's why you see everyone's like, what happened with the altcoin market? What happened to alt season? My brothers and sisters in Christ, it came and left. It hit new all-time highs, but you were still holding Gala. You were still holding Pepe. You were still holding Doge. Not you, but I'm just speaking to the public. You were still holding bullshit. That's never, ever going to go back to where it was anymore.
Yeah.
You got to be very, 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 very selective
this
crypto coins.
This brings me to the reason how, like, meme coins and other, like, assets in crypto that aren't as institutionalized are kind of like the last front to kind of do something crazy and make a crazy gain. Right. So it's like the last opportunity in a sense until it's too late.
I do think this is going to be the last administration that allows us to have some crazy stuff happen.
Yeah.
And after that, it's done.
It's lights out.
I do. I truly, truly believe
then
that.
It's straight to strictly Pokemon.
Yep. And stocks again. So guys, to wrap up, like we're saying, Justin is very, very correct. It's going to be a completely different year for crypto in the next 3-4 years. I am extremely serious when I say I truly believe all the crazy crypto stories we've seen and heard and have experienced ourselves, like the Pepes, the Doge, the Shibas, and all that stuff, I really believe we got three more years of this, and that's really it. So thank you guys so much. Make sure you guys tune in to the next episode. If you guys are not following us, please like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell, because every week we hit you guys with some crazy good alpha. And if you guys are looking for a good Pokemon investment, get some Destiny Rivals booster boxes. That's it.
You see what Buxton said?
What?
Literally pull the prismatic Umbreon during this live.
No, he didn't. No, you didn't. No, you didn't, dude.
Did you really?
Why does this guy keep pulling everything I try to pull?
All he does is pull hits.
Bucks?
Oh, no way.
Dude, get out of the stream, bro, before I break this computer.
All right, we're ending it. Bye.
Dude,
you suck.
I literally, I saw somebody open a God pack on Prismatic, and I was talking to Tito Suave this morning. I was like, bro, I'm really upset that I can't pull a God pack. So I opened 2 booster bundles. It turned $120 into 7 because I got wrecked.
Dude, he pulled the top.
Dude,
Chase.
my God, bro. Dude, that card's $1,000 raw. 1,100 raw.
Pull the top chase.
Dude, look at the centering on that.
I left, but he pulled the top chase.
Dude, that's some good centering on it, too. Damn, Buxton pulls.
From Dollar General. Oh, my God.
All right, I got to get off this live
All right,
before I
yeah,
nerd quit.
Stop.
All right, peace out, everybody. See you guys next week.